একটু মিতুল বলে নেবেন বা জাসমিন বলে নেবেন আমরা লাইভে আছি
আমরা কি
সৌধ আর্টস
প্রোফাইল আছে
সৌধ আর্টস একটা পেজ
বাংলা মিউজিক ফেস্টিভ্যাল না কাইসার ভাই?
না সৌধ গজলেন তুমি আমরা এখন লাইভে
হ্যাঁ আমরা লাইভে আছি এখন। হ্যাঁ
একটু আপনি ইয়েতে শেয়ার করে নেন সৌধ আর্টসে আছে
সৌধ আর্টস আচ্ছা
সৌধ আর্টসে এই দেখা যাবে এখনই দেখা যাচ্ছে না এই এখন
দেখা যাচ্ছে
এখনই এই দেখা গেল আপনার সৌধ আর্টসে আমরা সৌধ আর্টসে পাওয়া যাবে সৌধ একটু সৌধ বাংলা মিউজিক ফেস্টিভ্যালেও চাইলে যদি এটা বেটার হয় সৌধ বাংলা মিউজিক ফেস্টিভ্যালেও এখন অ্যাভেইলেবল হলো তো আমি একটু দেখে নিচ্ছি সবাই আছে আমাদের একটু দর্শক যারা আছেন তারাও যদি একটু জানিয়ে দেন আমাদের এই পুরো লাইভটা কেমন যাচ্ছে আমি এখনই আমরা লাইভে গেলাম So ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this session of live Facebook live series hosted by Saudha and Radharaman Society. As part of this event,
সবাই একটু মিউটে গেলে মনে ভালো হবে ওই যে ইন্টারাপ্ট করছে অন্যদের সাউন্ড গুলো
So ladies and gentlemen, this is part of Saudha Facebook live series. This is a concert and talk series actually, and we are doing it for the last 2 weeks. Many thanks for watching it. After every session, quite fortunately, we have about 10,000 audiences, 8,000 audiences. So that shows that music is benefiting the society now when it is in trouble, when mankind is in a huge depression. So music always offers a beam of hope. Artist always comes with hope and confidences, and that kind of feedback we are having. And many thanks for following, watching. So those who are watching, please let us know how you are feeling, and please also share this session to your timeline and let the others be immersed in music, in talk, and let the others having opportunity to watch. Today, we have one of the finest maestro of Sarod at this moment in the whole globe, Pandit Dr. Rajeev Chakraborty. Those who are familiar with Indian classical music, those who follow Indian classical music, especially in the West, after Ravi Shankar ji, a group of world-class musicians are inheriting the treasure of Indian classical music and playing, singing in that level and spreading the beauty and magnificence of Indian classical music. Dr. Pandit Rajeev Chakraborty ji is one of those world-class, how music is benefiting society, how music is healing and offering remedy when people are suffering from the situation that we are going through. So Pandit Rajeev Chakraborty, as you know, an educationalist as well, and a music composer, as well as a conductor. Rajeev Chakraborty ji started at the tender age of 6, attuning his mind and fingers to the strains of his father's Sarod. Pandit Ravi Chakraborty ji, himself one of the most distinguished and senior-most Sarodists of the Malhar Gharana. Ever since, Rajeev ji evolved as one of the India's finest Sarod players under his guidance and training. Dr. Rajeev Chakraborty ji's quest for knowledge and desire to become a complete musician brought him close to many versatile and learned minds. His interest in different spheres in music helped him to acquire knowledge at length. Rajeev ji's achievement may be credited to Padma Bhushan Pandit Gyan Prakash Ghosh, under whom he received training in vocal music. Tal and Laya, the most indispensable aspect of music, created new dimensions under the tutelage of Pandit Anil Panditji. He is also blessed with the guidance of Pandit Buddhadev Dasgupta ji, Professor Ajoy Sinha Rai, and Pandit Ajoy Chakraborty ji. Apart from being a scholar in Indian classical music, Dr. Chakraborty earned his degrees in Western classical music from Royal College of Music with distinction. So ladies and gentlemen, we'll try to explore his new works and the way he learned gradually. Many thanks, Pandit Rajeev Chakraborty ji, for joining this concert and talk series. Rajeev, I can't hear you actually, because perhaps you are on mute now. I tried to unmute.
Yes, that's right.
So that's fine.
Yes.
Okay. Many thanks for joining.
Shubho Noboborsho. Thank you, Kaisar Bhai. The biodata, you have just read half of it, but it looks like almost a marathon one. Please. Thank you for all the nice words. And I'm just a musician, Sarod player, and you are doing such a wonderful job and just bringing people together in this isolation. We are just living as single island quite far, so just uniting friends. Wonderful effort.
Thank you, Rajeev. You're not just a musician. I think you're a prophet of music, propagating the beauty, intricacies, and the mood of music to the rest of the world. Many thanks for the great service you are doing for the music, especially for Indian classical music. Let me also introduce our panel. One of the regular panelists, Mitul, Shaheen Mitul, a friend and a part of this process, a spoken word artist. Many thanks for joining, Mitul.
Thank you.
And also, let me introduce another panelist, one of the finest semi-classical vocalists here in UK, a wonderful singer, versatile singer, Leeds-based singer, a wonderful human being too, Shumona Mollik Boshu. Srimati Shumona Mollik Boshu, many thanks for joining. I hope I can't see you, Shumona, perhaps because, are you there? Thank you. You are on mute. Many thanks for joining today. Can you hear me, Shumona?
I think you're on mute. She's on mute.
I tried to unmute her, but. Hello, Shumona. Can you hear me?
She is still on mute. Shumona Di, can you unmute your microphone, please?
Yeah, that's right. All of a sudden, yeah. It's an absolute pleasure to be part of this online concert. It's an absolute pleasure on my part. Thank you for having me.
Many thanks. We also have Nishat Afza, a friend of Rajeev Chakraborty ji, and also a music and art literature former lecturer of Dhaka University, English department. Many thanks for joining, Nishat. And I can see Pablo Khaled, an award-winning photographer. Many thanks, Pablo Bhai, for introducing me with such a wonderful, such a great musician. And then
the pleasure is mine.
And then we have another panelist here, quite regular panelist, one of the finest tago singers here in UK, and also founder of three wonderful organizations, Rabi Bharati, Niyam, a wonderful human being, and a friend, Sanjay De. Many thanks for joining today.
Thank you very much, Kaisar Bhai. Thank you for having me. It's a wonderful event. I was looking forward to this one. And Rajiv Da, as we all know, you know, is a wonderful musician. And I was just looking forward to this session. All the best, Rajiv Da. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And also the part and parcel of this session, a poet and a very talented journalist, very good friend of us, Sarwari Alam. Many thanks for joining.
Hello, everyone. Happy New Year. Happy Bengali New Year. I have children around me. I know that it keeps making noise. And রাজীব দা অনেক ধন্যবাদ, মানে আপনাকে খুবই ভালো লাগছে। আর আমাদের যারা আজকে যুক্ত হয়েছেন, নামগুলো কিভাবে জানি এসছে আর কি, পর্ষিয়া, হ্যাঁ, পাবলু খালেদ ভাই, আপনাদের নামগুলো বোধহয় একটু ঠিক করতে হবে। অনেক ধন্যবাদ।
Yeah, I've already introduced Sarod bhai. Thank you. Let us go to Rajeev Da. How are you, Rajeev Da, today? How is Kolkata?
I'm good. Just enjoying a lot of time with music, and you know, unfortunately, in my place, I have a audio and video setup, and there I can do a lot of my creative works there. So actually, just having fun with music and connecting with friends, and that I'm just in a quite a blessed situation actually.
How's the scenario outside Kolkata?
Scenario is it is quite under control, I would rather say, because in a country like India, where I mean, we are hugely populated place, and there to control everybody to be in isolation is quite a tall task. But I believe Indian government is doing quite a good job. And that's why the entire situation is definitely, we don't know what is going to happen next week, because every day this scenario changes. But right now it looks somewhat under control. So just keeping our fingers crossed. We will be heading for a better tomorrow.
Exactly. So our aim today, Rajeev Da, our aim today is to explore through talk, explore your music, explore the philosophy of your music and the vision. Every musician has a vision, so your vision through talk. And also, if we are fortunate enough to be blessed with your live music.
Yeah, I will just play a little bit. And with
is it possible to start perhaps to start with something so that our audiences are in a mood of pure classical music?
Pure classical music you want me to play? Why always pure classical music? Why not something else? Why not something else?
Perhaps,
why not something else?
If you prefer,
it's all about
only thing.
You know, it's all about connecting. It's all about connecting, because sometimes
exactly
we are quite demarcated with that I'm a classical musician or he's a folk person like that. But at the end of the day, we are expressionists.
Wow.
We just express our
Very true.
emotions and feelings and everything just through maybe my fingers and through this wonderful instrument. So
Yeah, well,
Boishak Mash. I mean, for my Bengali friends also, I just would love to say a few words in Bengali. নতুন বছর রবি ঠাকুরকে ছেড়ে কি করে থাকি সেই জন্য কিছু তার থেকে ধার নেয়া কিছু কথা সুর দিয়ে আপনাদের কাছে, because fortunately I play such an instrument which has no language barrier, so that's why I thought of sharing a tune which is very, very close to my heart. But you know, I mean, just when we pay tribute to such a personality, so it was just a sort of connecting with people. Thank you.
Rajeev, আমার কিছু বলার আছে. I was just thinking
Please.
of, you know,
Please.
it's such a wonderful background, and you are playing the Sarod. মনে হচ্ছে আকাশটা মেঘে ছেয়ে আছে, আর আপনি যেভাবে প্লে করছেন ওটা একটা অন্যরকম অ্যাম্বিয়েন্স ক্রিয়েট করছে. It is absolutely amazing.
It is.
It has already created.
Music is bliss. It's a prasad for us. So what we do is, I mean, we just keep enjoying the bliss of music. I'm so fortunate to be a musician and also a Sarod player, because I love my instrument. Thank you.
Actually, it's a prasad to all of us.
Rajeev, it's a privilege to be in your company, Rajeev.
Thank you.
And I was just thinking, as you were playing then, that music like this and poetry is often, you know, at many times in my life, I think I've sought solace when I'm at a crossroad or going through a difficult time. And I think as human beings, we at times of kind of great crisis, as we are crossing one right now, it's often that these kind of events and gatherings and connections is what gives us the resilience to stay strong and hopefully get over. So I'm going to read a poem by Rumi, A Great Wagon. It's translated by Coleman Bax. When I see your face, the stones start spinning. You appear all studying wonders. I lose my place. Water turns pearly. Fire dies down and doesn't destroy. In your presence, I don't want what I thought I wanted. Those 3 little hanging lamps inside your face. The ancient manuscript seems like rusty mirrors. You breathe, new shapes appear, and the music of desire as widespread as spring begins to move like a great wagon. Drive slowly. Some of us walking alongside are lame. Today, like every other day, we wake up empty and frightened. Don't open the door to the study and begin reading. Take down a musical instrument. Let the beauty we love be what we do. There are hundreds of ways to kneel and kiss the ground. Out beyond ideas of wrongdoing and right doing, there is a field. I'll meet you there when the soul lies down in that grass. The world is too full to talk about ideas, language, and even the phrase each other doesn't make any sense. The breeze at dawn has secrets to tell you. Don't go back to sleep. You must ask for what you really want. Don't go back to sleep. People are going back and forth across the doorsill where the 2 worlds touch. The door is round and open. Don't go back to sleep. I would love to kiss you. The price of kissing is your life. Now my loving is running towards my life, shouting, what a bargain, let's buy it. Daylight full of small dancing particles in one great turning. Our souls are dancing with you. Without feet, they dance. Can you see them when I whisper in your ear? They try to say what you are, spiritual or sexual. They wonder about the Solomon and all his wives.
In the body of the world, they say there is a soul, and you are that. But we have ways within each other than that will never be said by anyone. Come to the orchard in spring. There is a little light and wine and sweethearts in the pomegranate flowers. If you do not come, these do not matter. If you do come, these do not matter.
Many, many thanks, Jasmine, and many thanks, Rajeev.
Wonderful, wonderful.
You
Jasmine.
made always. Thank you for such a beautiful introduction with Tagore's. But I found while I was listening to some of your music, Rajeev, I found a very constant experimental mind works on you. You did something called Lochin Pakhi. So you're exploring, your canvas is so bigger, so wide. So you are trying to explore even our folk music. And that was so beautiful while I was listening to that clip. So would it be possible to say or ruminate your memory when you learned classical music at your boyhood?
It just started very naturally, you know, like going to school, learning cycling, and also I was gifted with a Sarod, a small little Sarod. At the age of 6, I was in class 1. So in the beginning, it was really what a wonderful gift I got, because my sister Reena, a brilliant sitar player, she started 3 years before me. And by that time, she was just playing fantastic. And I got my little gift from my father, a nice little Sarod. So it was like a wonderful toy coming to me. So it was, wow, kind of thing. But later on, I realized, oh no, when I had to practice, so it wasn't a very pleasant kind of experience for me, because in Bengali we say Phaki Baj. Most of the kids are like that at the initial stage before you fall in love with your instrument. So that happens. So it started like that. So I was
so
learning.
you at your childhood you knew that you would master on that instrument. Did you have any other curiosity to learn other instrument, or
any
knew that you
other instruments? No, at the time, because I was very young. I was just 6 when I started this instrument. And, you know, usually kids, they want to imitate elders. My father was a Sarod player. So when I got a Sarod, so it was like a great tool for me to imitate him. So, you know, that it started in that fashion. I love many other instruments, but Sarod is just my love, first love. So what happens is, when I had to practice more at the time, the things were not that pleasant. So it's a pretty simple equation, yeah. Practice or good beating. Choice is yours. Which one you want? Yeah. So today, if we talk about that, we'll say, "Oh my God, child abuse and those kind of things." It's pretty simple, you know, because of those hard rules. It just made me a musician. So you know what you need to do. You just need to practice. After a while, when the Sarod starts speaking, when it talks with you, you know, I mean, before realizing, you become a musician. After that, you will simply fall in love.
Yeah.
For that, because after a while, you know that this instrument can just talk your heart out, and you have no other option but to fall in love with that. So how can you survive without it? So, but it happened after my school final exams, means Madhyamik, because I was spending about 3 months just only with myself, Sarod, and that's it. Just in one room. And that time I realized that if I want to be anybody in life, I just want to be a musician.
Wow.
That was the turning point. And
were you intrigued by other form of art, poetry, or other form of art?
Absolutely, yeah. As a Bengali, you are introduced to so many things, like songs, poetry, and so many things. Yeah, I loved many things, but you just knew that this is the thing which can talk for you.
Exactly.
You need a vehicle to communicate with people, and the easiest thing was it has no particular what we say language, but it had the global language. So it was the easiest way to convey people, just through your heart, your instrument. True. So I'm quite blessed that my father gifted me this Sarod because it was his choice. Then my sister Rina will play sitar and I will play Sarod. So I really feel privileged to get such a wonderful instrument. And then it just went on, just like any musician growing up in a musical family, just how they grow up and you start performing from a very tender age. I started performing at the age of 10 with my sister, certainly. And she was, by the time she was quite a fantastic player, and I was just following her. And we still play duets and everything. So that's how we kept on growing with all our other musician friends. And it's a lovely, lovely childhood memories. And still I'm enjoying like anything.
Fantastic, Rajeev. I would, 3 other questions I will ask gradually, but I would also like to ask my panelists if they have any questions. But one thing that also I want to know, how was the Kolkata at that time when you learned? Because it dramatically changed. Urbanization, globalization became so eminent in India, Bangladesh, South Asia. So it has changed the musical and cultural scene quite significantly. And also I would like to learn a bit more on the memory of your gurus. And if you kindly also play at least 2 or 3 minutes from Ochin Paki. Otherwise I have
it's better if you play the Ochin Paki track because
that's what I do.
Because what happens is Ochin Paki is a composite piece. Exactly. And what happens is when we play composite piece without the track, it doesn't sound
no, that's fine. I'll play for our audience from I have downloaded it. So our audience will get the taste of a beautiful piece. A beautiful piece. So let me ask our colleagues here if they would like to ask any questions. If not, I also would like to ask Sarod Bhai if you could read a poem with this mood of music.
All right. Yeah. Thank you, Kasur Bhai. Do you hear me?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
All right. The first thing really I would like to say, as Rajeev said, the instrument he's playing really, it doesn't have any particular language. That's absolutely correct. And this is really the beauty of this instrument because we can explain the way we want, the way we believe, the way we think. And it's quite provocating really. And this is why it becomes quite universal. And it's really, really enjoying. And Kasur Bhai, of course, thank you very much for giving us this opportunity and bringing people together, connecting each other. It's another opportunity for us to know each other. Every day we are discovering everyone. I would like to read some verses from Ghalib. I think this will go with the mood of this evening. It's some couplets, of course. A lifetime passes before a sigh shows its effects. Who would wait so long to see your curls fixed up? The second one is, Love demands patience, but lust is relentless. What to do with the heart till the bleeds to death? Third one, short is our lifespan, as the twinkling of an eye. The glamour of the court is but the glimmer of the spark. The fourth one is, the joy of a drop is to diminish in the river, transcending the limits, pain becomes antidote. So these are quite very beautiful verses from Ghalib. The first one, especially if you look at it, a lifetime passes before a sigh shows its effects. Who would wait so long to see your curls fixed up? Very interesting, isn't it?
Exactly. Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
Please.
yeah. Thank you.
So, Rajeev, there, you
Yes.
inherited such a great treasure of mysticism from Ghalib, from Kabir. We talked about Kabir last night, Shurdash,
Mhm.
and most obviously Tagore, who shaped the whole mysticism in a format, in a framework, philosophical framework.
Mhm.
Is this the reason why, as a musician, you also like to explore these sources? That's why you led to Lalan? And also, I'm not sure whether other mystic philosophers, mystic lyrics intrigued you. Ghalib, for an example, Mir Taqi Mir, for an example. And
Yeah.
I firmly know that you are such a great lover of poetry. So, I mean, do those beautiful treasure of poetry influence you as a musician when you compose things?
It certainly does. Because, you just can't deny. I mean, music, poetry, art, they are all interlinked. They are just, everything is, it's just different medium. Apart from that, it is just same. You develop a skill to express your thoughts, your ideas, your perceptions, your whatever you want to convey to your friends or to your listeners. Um, but it is just, it can be music, it can be poetry. So definitely you will get inspired with the other form of arts as well. So
True.
and in Bengal especially, we have this culture of experiencing all these different art forms, because that becomes a part and parcel of your life.
True.
Almost in every house, you will see at least there is a harmonium there. People just love doing some songs, whether that is in a quite a high level or doesn't matter, but that culture is there. And we are so fortunate to be in this, being in the Bengali community, so
True.
that gives you this opportunity of experiencing
Yeah.
Lalan, Mirabai, to Rabindranath, to Shakespeare, to anything.
Exactly.
I mean,
Yeah.
but because art as such becomes integral part of your life.
Very true. I can't resist my temptation to share this beautiful piece that you developed from the source of Lalan's music. So let us listen a bit.
Thank you.
And if I just share the screen, so where do I go? And then we'll come back soon to my colleagues and panelists and ask them. Can you all hear it? We will start hearing.
I believe you need to play the
Yeah.
file.
Is it being, can you hear?
Yes, we can hear you, but not the music.
No,
Right,
you have
okay. That's just a second. I have,
Mm-hmm.
we can't hear the music now. Audiences, please spare a minute. We are coming with a piece of world-class experiment in instrumental music. Is the music going on now? Stop share. Many thanks. Perhaps audience has managed to hear, as far as I believe, and Unfortunately, video couldn't be shown because this technology is quite not familiar to us, so we are exploring gradually. Is it possible for Mitul to read comments from audiences?
Yes, can you hear me?
Exactly, yes, sure.
Amrin Aziz said to Rajeev Da, we saw you in Brighton not that long ago. It was great. Ash Abhi Chakraborty, looking forward, nostalgic. As you were playing Rupitomai Bhola, he said he's very nostalgic, and he said, Rajeev Da probably been to the same school like me. Patha Bhavan?
Patho Bhavan.
Yeah, yeah.
Patho Bhavan.
Not, he said, a big hi to you.
Hi.
Ayub Kuramali, our regular viewer, he said hello to everyone. Vasudev Bandopadhyay, wow, great to see you, Rajeev Da. Shagwata Kanjilal Goswami, a fantastic program going on. So that's all I have for now. Thank you.
Wonderful.
Thank you very much. Has
Thank
anyone
you.
had anything to ask before I have
Kaisar bhai,
placed
tell
some
me,
questions.
why do you ask all the difficult questions? Life is so simple. Life is so simple. I mean, it's a lot of fun. Yeah. I mean, do you
Let's
think?
have
I mean,
fun,
people
mate.
are quite interested about knowing what I did in my childhood.
Yeah, well, this
I mean,
is
it's all about fun. It's all about fun. We had so much of, because like many musicians, traveling musicians, yeah, they are quite funny people also. I mean, because they come across many characters, and some of my friends, I mean, they are so good in copying people, I mean, mimicry and those. I mean, I don't have much talent on that. So like that, it was great fun. I mean, while traveling, you come across with so many people, and nice anecdotes and things. Life is beautiful.
Yeah,
Yes, please.
Go to that. I will need to know those anecdotes as well, Rajeev. Perhaps Shumana needs to ask you something. Shumana,
please.
No. While listening to you, Rajeev, I was constantly pinching myself just to make sure that it is really happening. I was not believing that, you are playing, and it makes us feel that you are sitting so near to us, but literally you are so far away. But আমাদের সেরকম মনেই হচ্ছে না, মনে হচ্ছে আপনাকে খুব কাছে পেয়ে গেছি আমরা.
That's the beauty of today. I mean, we are in a global village. We are in a global village. I mean, definitely. I mean, we are in many difficult situations, but just think, the connectivity wise, we are so connected. I mean, isn't it fantastic to have so many friends all around the globe? And you are almost like, I mean, you are sharing your thoughts, your music, your poetry, all your expressions, beautiful expressions, and we are connected. Like, I mean, it was so difficult even 20 years, 30 years before, just to make a phone call to India. It was
so difficult.
It was so expensive. I remember I used to call my parents. I mean, during 90s, I used to stay about 8 months in UK. I was working for a Filigria art promotion company, and I used to make one phone call in a week because it was so expensive. I had to go to the public booth and put coins and do that. And now, I mean, we are connected so nicely. Isn't it wonderful?
I know, but আপনাকে এইভাবে শোনা, it's a real honor.
Thank you, Sangeet. Perhaps you were trying to ask something.
Yeah, if you want me to ask anything, so I ask for a moment's indulgence to sit by thy side. The works that I have in hand I will finish afterwards.
Mhm.
Away from the sight of thy face, my heart knows no rest nor respite, and my work becomes an endless toil in a shoreless sea of toil. Today the summer has come at my window with its sighs and murmurs, and the bees are plying their minstrelsy at the court of the flowering grove. Now it is time to sit quiet, face to face with thee, and to sing dedication of life in this silent and overflowing leisure. That's what I have taken from Tagore.
Wonderful,
Wow,
wonderful.
great.
Gitanjali.
Yes.
Thank you, Rajiv Da. Could
Thank you.
you tell us briefly about the time of your childhood in Kolkata, especially if you connect the musical scenario for those, especially we have
Musicals.
a number of audiences from, yeah.
The musical scenario wise, there is to be, I mean, still the musical scenario in Kolkata is quite good. And when I was growing up at that time, in my early childhood, I remember about two music festivals where my sister performed. It was one in 1970, one in 1972, a Southern Music Conference and Tansen Music Samaroh. These two music conferences were really, really big. Nowadays, the biggest classical music festival is Doval Music Conference. And along with that, we have many other. And approximately, I'm not very sure because this data I got from one book. So I'm not very sure about the authenticity of this. We have roughly, just in concert scenario wise, we have more than 1,500 Indian classical music concerts happening just in our town, just in Kolkata.
Just in Kolkata.
Just in Kolkata. We have about 16 venues which hold Indian classical music scene, starting from Nazrul Manch or Science City Auditorium, Ravindra Sadan, Kala Mandir, G.D. Birla Sabhagar, and this, and there are plenty. And also, we have many places where festivals are happening in open air, especially during winter time, because that's the best time of the year. And within those 4 months, we have 70% of our music festivals happening. During my childhood, there used to be quite a lot of baithaks, which were like private gathering, like Bhabanipur Sangeet Shanmelan and those. They were all, and still we have some. And I think we are entering into a new era where we will have more net concerts than physical concert happening in the that's an absolutely new thing which we are experiencing within last couple of years, and I think within this lockdown period now this culture has grown much more, so we will have more of that. And during my childhood and growing time, I have seen those maestros performing. We were so fortunate to be in the last phase of Indian golden era. Means Pandit Ravi Shankar ji, Ustad Ali Akbar Khan Sahab, Ustad Bilayat Khan Sahab, Pandit Nikhil Banerjee, Ustad Amjad Ali Khan Sahab, Ustad Amir Khan Sahab, Ustad Bare Ghulam Ali Khan Sahab, all these maestros, Pandit Bhimchand Joshi ji, and like, Pandit Shiv Kumar Sharma, Hariprasad Chaurasia ji, all of them, and Ustad Zakir Hussain, Pandit Shapan Chaudhary, Pandit Kumar Bose, Anindo Da, Pandit Anindo Chatterjee, and so many, galaxy of musicians. And I mean, as a Bengali, we feel so proud because we have produced maximum number of leading Indian musicians from Bengal. That's
and well, I mean, also those who are not from Bengali background, they always have a second home in Kolkata. Even Berigula Malik Khan, they have,
yeah. Berigula Malik Khan Sahab had it's just about 2 kilometers from our place. It's in Beg Bagan. Still the house is there. And Guddu is a very good friend of mine, Raza Ali Khan. Yeah, we grew up, all of us, we grew up together. So, I mean, it's wonderful. The Calcutta music scenario is wonderful. And we have many concerts happening. And starting from the stalwart musicians to upcoming musicians, wonderful.
Hey, Rajeev, let's listen a bit of poetry, and then if you kindly,
please.
Yeah, feel right. Okay, could Shahid Mitul read something?
Yeah. It's a blessing to be in your company, Rajeev. I'm loving it. So I've chosen to read from Hafiz. It's called I'm Full of Love Tonight. I am full of love tonight. Come, look into my eyes and let's go off sailing, my dear, on a long ocean ride. This world will not touch you. I will keep you sung upon my seat. Let's plot to make the moon jealous with her radiance leaping from your cheek. I will be full of love tonight. Come, look into these ancient eyes, and let's go sailing, my dear, with our spirits intertwined. Your body is just an old sandbar in a speeding hourglass of time. Love will turn the mouth of sorrow right side up. Let your heart commence its destined laughing chime. Hafiz will be brimful of love tonight. Why ever be shy? Come look into the playful eyes of my verse. They are eternally branded with the sun. Thank you.
Wonderful, wonderful.
So Rajeev, I met you perhaps a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
I listened to your music even a year ago. And then I've heard of you a few years ago. And then what I found is what I explored actually within you. There are very few musicians who have the combination of musicology, interest in musicology, and then performing in world-class level. The way you explore music with other form of arts, even you did your academic degrees in Western classical music, and then that perhaps shapes your music differently than others. So, why did you want to learn Western classical? Did you have any other?
I tell you, Kaisar Bhai, it's pretty simple. I take life very easily, because it's a bliss that by lottery luck, I was born in a family of musicians. So music became an integral part of my life. Apart from that, whatever I have learned, I was never interested in serious about studies. Never submitted my homework on time. So I was quite a naughty kid in my school. My friends know that. And so I had no plans in going for academia or something like that. But incidentally, I was composing a music for a school in Leeds in year 1999. There, I had to compose a piece for a Western classical group of musicians who were in a school. And Mrs. Price, she was a music teacher. So I was introduced that I will write the music. So I wrote the music. I took it. And I didn't know Western classical notation. So what happened is So I just played it for her, and then she translated it into Western classical notation. Then when the notation was ready, then the first day of rehearsal, the kids were really, really good. And they got the paper and they started playing. And just in one chance, they could play the entire piece. So it was, wow. So then when we were rehearsing, but I just wanted to do some interpretation of the music in slightly different way. And when I tried to communicate with them, then I found that I need to know this language, because otherwise they are playing my music and I cannot read what they were reading. So I just came back to India. I had a friend who was from Western classical discipline. I said, Sanjay, I want to learn Western classical notation system and that. So he took me to his guru, and that's how I was introduced. Then I went back, because at that time I was staying in UK quite a lot. So I just did my degree. If you need to learn something, you just learn it. I'm still learning. I have plenty of very young friends, dynamic musicians, and who compose. And because I have this audio setup, because whatever comes in your mind, you can just record it then and there, 24 hours, 2 o'clock in the morning or 10 o'clock, the daytime or at night, doesn't matter. So I have learned those skills to facilitate me to enjoy music even more. So it's pretty simple. It's not that great. First, one thing I have understood is, if you want to learn something, or if you want to get something in your life, just dil se mango, you will get it. Pretty simple.
Very nice explanation. And Rajeev, I would like to I would like to ask you, as because you are working with other singers as well, like creating in a different dimension, you want to depict Tagore. I have heard so many times, and also about folk you have done. So what do you think about these things, like playing with the Tagore songs to do you think that there are so many dimensions to show, to create something Tagore?
Yeah.
Do you think so? And in film music, there's absolutely completely different when you work for the films. So it's completely different. How do you explain that thing?
First, with Tagore, you cannot do without. Because being a Bengali, you are so fortunate that the greatest poet on earth, that's what I believe, it has written in your own mother tongue. So you don't have to read a translation. It's Tagore. And more you read, you know, it's just, you have understood nothing. So it's in Bengali, we called Obogahon. So you are submerged in Tagore. So that we cannot. And I was quite fortunate, because I have few friends who are very, very good singers, and we grew up together. And so quite often we had adda, or the kind of session what we are having it now. And somebody sang a classical composition, so somebody sang a bhajan or a Tagore song or a classical composition. So we just, it was just a conversation going on with all kind of expressions, musical expressions. So there, all of a sudden, I mean, I heard quite a few interpretation of Tagore with instrumental music. Yeah. Then one day I just rang Srikanto, a very dear friend of mine, you know, a famous singer. So Srikanto, we are very connected because of another dimension, because he loves classical music. He listens to more classical music than what we do. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. We spend a lot of time in performing or practicing classical music, but how much he listens to. So I said, Srikanto, I have some idea. I mean, why not we just sit one day? He said, okay. So one day we just sat and found that we know at least 20 to 25 Tagore songs which are composed only in Yemen. So that journey started like that. We just took 1 year to do Pothir Shathi together. And because it was more fun than working for an album, so it took us one year. We were just toying with the idea of which song to take, which song not. So, you know, when you know those songs, because I'm from a school, Patho Bhavan, where in all everyday prayer, we had one Tagore song. So we are quite habituated with that. We know at least 200 to 300 Tagore songs by heart because from our school days. But
was it the same Tagore song you used to do as a prayer, or it was just changing?
Yes, quite a few. Quite a few. No, okay. Not same. Same. It used to
including
change
Ananda Loke Mongola Loke.
Everything. Those were part and parcel of your life. And you know, I'm amazing. Then I realized when I started working on that, then I read the text. You know, when you work with somebody, you need to be very close to it. And a person, I mean, I just simply mesmerized with the beauty of the words, the beauty of the music. It can be so simple, but so even after 200 years or 2000 years, it will just stay today's music. So blessed so that I can give my pranam or my offerings to those kind of musical genius.
And also perhaps you are trying to do a Western orchestration of Tagore.
Yes, we have done that. Yeah, wow. In 2018. I mean, we started that project in 2013 in Michigan, United States.
What's the name of the project? What was the name of the project?
Tagore Beyond Boundaries. Right. There, at that time, I was working in University of Michigan, jointly with my friend, Dr. Moushumi Banerjee. And she is a health scientist, data scientist, working with cancer research. And, you know, she's also a very good writer, Tagore song singer, Rabindra Sangeet singer, and I mean, too talented. But whatever I talk about her, you have to, I mean, because, you know, she's also from my school. So we are of all praise about anybody from me. They are too close. Okay, so Moushumi and I, at that time, we decided of doing a project, and Ashish Sarkar, and he just came forward and said, we should do something. And that's how this Tagore Beyond Boundary came. And we did a concert with 125 kids of a school, Ann Arbor, and they are amazing musicians. We did 8 Tagore songs in complete Philharmonic orchestration, and I will share it with you. I mean, there is a song, Eki Labonne Punna Pran, which has been uploaded, and there are many other songs also. And you know, Tagore is simply global. It's wonderful.
I have one question here.
Please.
When you were mentioning about all those concerts happening in Kolkata, so you took me back to my childhood days, you know, late 80s and 90s. I have been to all those concerts with my mom, and you know, witnessed all those you know, mesmerizing legendary musicians, you know, very close. But that time I've noticed one thing: those pure classical concerts, they never used to fusion during their first part of projecting the ragas and the music, but at the end they used to do some fusion work. But all these experimenting with Nazrul Gitis and Rabindra Sangeet with classical ragas, I think it started after 2000. What do you think about it?
No, because if you see Amjad Ali Khan Sahab and Suchitra Mitra, they did their album in 1982. Tribute to Tagore in 1982. Yeah. That was released in 1982. Yeah, certainly after 2000, I mean, we are seeing more collaboration projects, because that's the call of the day right now. I mean, we are almost like, even in 2020, we'll see more collaboration projects happening, because we are almost in a global village now. I mean, there is no distance. I mean, from Calcutta to England or to Puerto Rico. So it's like that. Certainly.
I was talking about the concerts, pure classical concerts. They were really pure classical. The main focus was pure classical.
Yeah. Still nowadays also we do have
Rajeev,
concerts like that. But also
what Shubhana is behind, if you go to Dover Lane, for an example, or any other pure concert, not just collaboration. When you go to any Shastriya Sangeet Sammelan, for an example, Dover Lane or Gandhapa, so it was a pure classical music concert instead of fusion.
Same today.
Oh, so
it is same today. Yeah. But newer festivals they are coming up with, because they are finding the newer generation are interested about the multi-dimensional stuff more. That is their idea. That's why they are promoting that.
Before is Nishat here? Nishat, could Nishat read anything from your favorite poem after listening to Rajeev da? I know you.
Portia is Amina Nishat এগুলো না খুব পোশাকি নাম। So I mean, to me it is Portia.
আমাকে কেউ Portia সরি নিশাত বলে ডাকলে আমিও নিজে ভেবাচাকা খেয়ে যায়। কায়সার ভাই নামটা খুব পছন্দ করেন। এইজন্য সব সময়
It's a beautiful name. It's a beautiful name. But you know
কিন্তু নিশাত মানে হচ্ছে আনন্দ। আমার পুরো নামটার অর্থ হচ্ছে to create happiness. এখন it's up to you. তুমি কেমন আছো? অনেকদিন পরে কথা।
একদম আনন্দে আছি।
আচ্ছা কি করতে হবে কায়সার ভাই?
Can you read anything from your favorite poet just to reflect or just to add on Rajeev da's talk and music?
Okay. আচ্ছা আমি পড়ছি, ছোট্ট করে পড়ি, তাতে সবাই পড়তে পারবে অনেকে। রাজীব দা একটু টুংটাং করো আমার সাথে।
যোগদান
একটু টুংটাং করো, পোয়েম পড়বো আমি, ছোট্ট 2টা স্ট্যানজা। এটা আমার বেশি হয়ে যাবে তো। আচ্ছা একটু টুংটাং। ওকে, এটা হচ্ছে পিবি শেলির লাভস ফিলোসফি, ছোট্ট 2টা স্ট্যানজার একটা কবিতা। The fountains mingle with the river, and the rivers with the ocean. The winds of heaven mix forever with a sweet emotion. Nothing in the world is single, all things by a law divine. In one spirit, meet and mingle. Why not I with thine? See the mountains kiss high heaven, and the waves clasp one another. No sister flower would be forgiven if it disdained its brother, and the sunlight clasps the earth, and the moonbeams kiss the sea. What is all this sweet work worth if thou kiss not me? Thank you.
Many thanks, Rishabh. Many thanks,
Wonderful.
Rajeev Da.
Mhm.
Because audience, I can see the audiences are asking if you kindly play something, then we can perhaps, I have some other questions. Is it possible to play briefly from Rag Bahar, just to honor
Bahar,
the spring,
Bahar, spring. আজকে
Because
তো
you,
আমি বাহারের খাতা নিয়ে বসিনি, তো কি করে বাজাবো? যেটা বাধা আছে শোনাই একটু, খাম্বাজ।
বাহ। How beautiful is this? How beautiful is this? You,
Thank you.
as a Bengali,
Chamatkar,
perhaps.
chamatkar laglo. Exactly.
Thank
with
you.
the
Exactly. As a Bengali, you took a
Hmm.
very popular bandish, a popular song of
ওকে আজ চলে যেতে বল
চলে
না
যেতে
Okay,
বল
actually,
না।
song Khamad, even
Mhm.
Uchatono Monogore Roina.
Absolutely, same tune.
Exactly,
Same
same.
tune.
Exactly. So
যদি তারে
deep-
নাই
Same
চিনি
tune.
গো সে কি আমি
Exactly.
ফিরবো না রে
Fantastic.
ফিরবো না
Sharp
Wonderful.
combats.
খামাজ
Right.
হ্যাঁ
Right, right.
কি একটা অপূর্ব
So,
মানে মনে হয় যেন এক সুন্দরী রমণী খামাজকে যেন দেখতে পাচ্ছি যে সুন্দরী রমণী
হুম।
সামনে এসে বসেছে অনেক সেজে আর মনে হলো যে এই সেশনটা প্রলংড হোক আলাপটাই প্রলংড হোক আরো অনেক সময় ধরে সমস্ত ধমনী দিয়ে সেই সুরের রসটা প্রবাহিত হোক আর আমি অনুভব করি বাহ বাহ বাহ
Wonderful, wonderful.
So, Rajeev, a very personal question. You can answer or
Yeah.
you can skip.
Personal question, fantastic. Yes.
That is something you're very keen to answer, perhaps, or you can skip. As you are well aware that Indian classical music has always a thread of melancholic emotions, and mostly it talks about suffered soul. But when a musician, does a musician need to have a suffered soul to reflect that level of emotion, tragic emotion, or you just imagine? And when you play something that has a fine, subtle level of melancholic or tragic emotions, as a musician, do you have to have that level of experience, or do you personally have that level of personal experience, or you just imagine when you portray or paint the pain of suffered soul?
As a professional,
Mhm.
you acquire that quality of enacting an emotion.
Mhm.
When we fancy ourselves as a professional musician, just think of an artist, an actor. Do they always have to be in that particular situation of life to enact that mood? They don't. But you have to get soaked in it. I mean, be that during that time, because when we are playing, enacting a rag, I would rather say enacting a rag, at that time, the rag itself has the stories to say. At that time, you are not portraying yourself, you are portraying that rag. As a professional, and you know, all the intense emotional aspects in life, you become a full circle musician when you get some opportunity to experience those intense things in life. But sometimes it is not possible for everybody to get the experience of all those kind of intense situations. But as a musician, you have a role to play because you are an artist, you are enacting the thing. And if you can feel that intensity in you, you can portray that raga in its full bliss.
So you imagine, you personally...
Not only imagine, be a part of it.
Mm.
Yes, be a part of it, because then I realized, and you have to listen very carefully to the maestros, just with one stroke, what they were playing. You are in tears, how they're doing it.
True.
That's how you try to excel. That's a part
and
of...
You are one of them, Rajeev Da. You are one of them.
Exactly. Very true. Very true. After, the more you listen, the more you get hypnotized, the more we get struck by that level of emotions.
Thank you.
We would like to listen something else at the end, Rajeev. Please plan something for our audience. But could Mitul read from audience's comment at this point?
Yeah, absolutely. খন্দকার মেহরুন নাহার খুব ভালো লাগছে কি চমৎকার সুজিত চৌধুরী চমৎকার চমৎকার
A friend of us and also an architect of this process, Sujit Chaudhary, many thanks for watching it.
Then Walia Gargi, hi Rajeev, nice to hear you. Ash Abhi Chakraborty, lovely listening to Rajeev Da, remembering those assembly songs in school, of course from Tagore. Shoma Ghosh said she's loving it, she's watching with us.
Mitul, can I recommend you to talk from your mobile or device without using this device, because
is it better now?
It's better, but yeah. It's better.
Very nice.
Can you please read other comments if anyone has? And also, I also would like to request all audiences who are watching it, please share and let the others have the opportunity to be the part of this transcendental celestial moments.
Then Onindita Roy Chaudhary said lovely music. Khondukar Mehrun Nahar said সাথে একটা গান করবে আর
Sorry, what did you say? You for the noise, I personally couldn't hear you.
So can everyone else hear me? Yeah, I think
it's clear. It's clear now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
okay.
That's all I have got for now.
Many thanks. Anyone has any question to Rajeev Da? Or anyone would like to know anything from Rajeev Da?
Can I ask a question? It follows on a little bit from what you were just asking about, Kaiser Bhai. So Rajeev Da, as you're playing, I'm just imagining, you're playing for me. When I'm listening to you, it feels like you're sitting in front of me and you're playing this music, and it's just taking me to a different world. So when you're playing at a concert or in front of a big audience, what kind of things do you kind of take into consideration, or how do you manage to reach out to such a, there might be a huge, diverse audience in front of you, and how do you connect to so many people?
First, if you want to connect to people, first connect to yourself. Because I have an instrument with whom I need to connect first. If I can do that, I will be able to connect with my audience. They are also, because when I'm playing, I'm the first listener. If you don't enjoy your own music, how can you make others enjoy your music? And then, just like how your instrument talks to you, let it talk to your audience. Audience means they are an extension of you. So always it's like just connecting through those notes. And at that time, you just need to be very careful about how it's not only what you play, how you play. First, we learn the content, what to play, then how to play. Means the same word, I can tell you, hello, how are you? Or hi, are you good? So, that personal touch is needed. So if you, few people, they just have that connect. It's a bliss. So that is all we are looking for. And usually I keep my eyes closed. So that really helps me, because then I can just focus with myself, with my instrument. And if you just can connect properly that day, people will listen to you. Be peaceful. It's a bliss. Just keep enjoying your music, and your friends might like it too. That becomes an additional bonus.
Anyone has anything to ask? Oh,
yeah, I want to.
Why do you want me to answer so many questions?
No, Rajeev da, I know this is only because we have a flood of things to learn from.
Yes.
একটা ছোট্ট কথা জানতে চাই রাজীব দা থেকে, যদি
প্লিজ বলুন।
সেটা হচ্ছে যে, যেমন ইউ বিলং টু মাইহার ঘরানা, হ্যাঁ, তো আপনি যখন অন্যান্য ঘরানার এত মিউজিক শোনার আপনার অভ্যাস, শোনেনও যখনই সুযোগ পান, আপনি কি সতর্ক থাকেন যাতে সেই বিশেষ ঘরানার কোনো বিশেষ কোনো কিছু আপনার বাজানোতে এফেক্ট না করে, নাকি চান যে ওটা আপনার?
ভীষণভাবে আমি টোটালি অ্যাডাল্টারেটেড, সুতরাং একদম ভাববেন না। মানে সেই জন্য আমি আর পিওর ঘি লিখি না, হ্যাঁ, মানে এতটাই অ্যাডাল্টারেটেড যে মানে কারণ
প্রভাবিত হতেও চান এবং সেই প্রভাবটাকে
না আপনি ভালোবাসেন যখন, এত জাত পাত ধর্ম আর এত কিছু দেখবেন
না।
তাহলে ঘরানা is just a school.
Exactly.
Yes, certainly at the beginning, মানে আপনার একটা যেরকম বংশ পরিচয় থাকে, বংশ পরিচয়টা না ওই বায়োডেটার মধ্যে না থেকে আপনার যদি আচরণে থাকে, সেটা বোধহয় সব থেকে ভালো, যে আপনার মধ্যে সেই তেহজিব, or if you have those etiquettes, so those nice gestures, how to greet people and everything, if you adopt those, that is more important than from which family you belong to. It should speak by your behavior. So,
right, absolutely.
And when you have so many wonderful things in life, why won't you adopt those? And what is needed is, first, have everything inside, then assimilate it, then it should be your own. The expression which comes out, if you do a proper assimilation, you will certainly come up with something. But I'm certainly open to too many things. It's wonderful, it's bliss. It doesn't matter whether it's from my gharana or not. I just take it in
whatever comes, and
absolutely.
you know how it reacts to you.
Absolutely.
You know?
Can I answer your question to Kaishar bhai? আসলে কায়সার ভাই আপনাকে আমাদের কাছে মানুষ হিসেবে আপনি কত বড় সেটাই বোধহয় চেনাতে চান। আর্টিস্ট হিসেবে তো আপনি
প্লিজ চেনাবেন না, প্লিজ চেনাবেন না, ইটস আ রিকোয়েস্ট। কেন বলছি এইটা করে না আমরা নিজেদের অবস্থা খারাপ করেছি। আমাদের না মানুষ না এতটা দূরে পেডেস্টালে বসিয়ে দিয়েছে না, দরকার নেই, দরকার নেই। I am just another.
আমি একটু বলতে চাই একটু কথা।
I have become a big fan of your personality too, Rajeev da.
Thank you. Thank you. Who else wants to ask something?
আমি একটু বলতে চাচ্ছি।
Pablo wanted to say something. Yes, please. হ্যাঁ বলুন।
মানে আমি তো মিউজিক সম্পর্কে মানে এতটা জ্ঞানী না, বাট মানে এতক্ষণ তো
English, Pablo, right?
Yeah, sure. I mean, sorry, I mean, so far, we have listened to Rajeev Da's music and we've talked about music, but I would like to divert a little bit. I'd like to talk about Rajeev Da himself, you know, how, because none of you know him the way I know him. I have the blessing from Allah to be his fan and the opportunity to meet him since 2017. And you cannot say enough about this man as a human being, how great it is. When I was introduced to him by another fantastic human being named Neil Malakar in 2017 when I went to Kolkata. So I wanted to photograph a very renowned musician. So Neil said, why didn't you take photograph of Rajeev Da? So I researched a little bit about him and I was in awe that will I be able to take his photograph or will he be coming out of shell to an unknown photographer like me? So I was very scared. Then we went. First morning in Gorer Mat, Rajeev Da came with his Sarod and said that, Pablo, oh, what should I do? And it was like he knew me since I was born. And then he sat in front of Victoria Memorial in the Gorer Mat and played Rag Bhairavi. Guys,
thank you.
It is a lifetime experience to listen Rajeev Da playing Rag Bhairavi. And I took some photographs and believe me, people from all over the world were mesmerized. Then this man invited me to his house. You know, the place where he's sitting right now, I have been to that place. And Rajeev Da has been kind enough to teach me classical music. And then when he talks, sorry?
Yeah, please continue. Yeah.
And I simply cannot thank this man enough. And another last point I'd like to tell about the greatness of this man. You know, you guys have seen me photographing for the last 5-6 years. Since 2017, my photography took a different course and I give the sole credit to the music of Rajeev Da. These days, when I sit down to edit my photographs, I need his music in my background. And without that, my photographs cannot talk. And I have listened to his music so many times that it's, what should I say, it's like a microchip in my brain. So whenever I have an occasion to photograph, my first companion before the camera is Rajeev Da's music. If the music is not there, I cannot take these photographs anymore. And there are few tunes.
Wonderful.
There are few tunes, guy. Sanjay Da, if I ever meet you again, I will show you. These tunes, right? They talk. Basically, my fingers cannot click without these tunes.
I can imagine that.
I mean, so beautiful are these tunes are. When I start editing them, when these music blocks the whole world, I'm completely lost in my photography, and this music keeps me focused on editing the photographs. And I just have to say that, Rajiv, that if I didn't know you and if I didn't meet you, my photography would have been in a different level, like below
Beautiful.
par. I'm not saying it's really high level, but it would have been a lot below par. And I thank God that I had the opportunity to meet you. And may you
Thank you.
live long and prosper. Thank you very much.
Many thanks, Pablo Khaled.
I can only say, Pablo, love you.
Great.
Great.
Rajiv Da,
Yes.
before we move on to your last performance, is it possible to play something? I mean, do you feel, are you being stormed with any other tune, any other raga that perhaps?
Instrument is a bit temperamental. Zila Kafi.
Go.
Thank you.
That's spellbound indeed.
Thank you.
And especially the portrayal of celestial silence through this raga. I have just a brief question, whether Zilla Kafi is the rag of Mayhar Gharana, because I heard
Yes,
him.
yes, certainly, certainly.
Yeah, because Ali Akbar Khanji and Ashish Khanji.
Yes. Ustad Alauddin Khan Sahab did this. Zila is a rag, Kafi is another rag. Ustad Alauddin Khan Sahab created this beautiful rag, Zila Kafi. It's a kind of Mishra Kafi, where you get the glimpse of both these two ragas.
Yeah, Kafi's
But
challenge.
yes. Yeah, yes.
Beautiful, beautiful. How deeply, how beautifully you constructed that celestial silence in this beautiful.
Thank you. Thank
Wonderful.
you.
That's wonderful.
Absolutely
It was
speechless.
Rajiv,
Wonderful.
keep it. I can't express how immensely we are immersed in this adda or in this music.
Wonderful. You are doing such a great job in connecting people. Kaisar Bhai, again,
Absolutely.
my
I do agree with
sincere
you.
thanks
Thank
to
you.
take
Thank you,
that
Rajita.
much of
Thank you.
that much of effort to make it happen.
Many
Thank
thanks.
you.
Many thanks.
Thank you so much.
I also, I mean, if you just talk briefly about your gurus, because you mentioned about Alauddin Khan Sahib, Ali Akbar Khan Sahib, gurus of Mahar Gharana. I know that you learned from your father. Your father was such a great Sarod player of Mahar Gharana.
Mainly, I have learned from my father. And, you know, I mean, being in a musician's family, you know, I mean, you don't need to take fish to a swimming club to learn swimming. So, I mean, you just learn automatically. I mean, you grow in that atmosphere and constantly you are learning. So, and yeah, definitely we had regular sessions with my dad, but we never had any exercise book. So he just used to say, chalo, aaj eta kar, like that. So, shuru ho jao.
Did you manage to meet Alauddin Khan Sahib ever?
No, I haven't.
Ali Akbar Khan Sahib, definitely.
Oh yes, many times. He came to our house also. He loved us so much. I mean, I got his blessing so much, but I haven't met Alauddin Khan Sahib.
Alauddin Khan Sahib, yeah.
No.
Ravi Shankar ji?
Oh yes, quite a few times. Yeah.
Yeah. Unbelievable. Great. Anyone has anything to ask to Rajiv? After this music, exactly.
We have all been transported to a different world now. So it's going to be very difficult to come back from there. So we don't know what to do now for the whole evening.
Everything gone. Everything.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Can anyone read anything from any perhaps Khoyam, Hafiz, or Ruby? And then we can go for Rajiv's last performance. Jasmine?
Do you like, okay, I will find something.
We are into a different trance, actually. Even if our session is over, I know that I will be listening to this session quite a number of times. I want to be with it.
Very
exactly.
True.
I just want to be with it for as long as possible.
Well said, Sanjay. Well said. And you could not have said it better.
Oh God.
We don't want to come back. We don't want to come back to the real world.
Yes. Let's be a part of this virtual world.
Are you? Yeah.
So in a way, we are thanking the virtual world now.
Exactly.
Actually,
got
we are
used
so
to it.
fortunate.
Actually, we are enjoying this.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll read something from Hafiz again. It's "For years my heart inquired of me," translated by Dick Davis. For years my heart inquired of me, where Jamshed's sacred cup might be and what was in its possession. It asked from strangers, constantly begging the pearl that slipped its shell from lost souls wandering by the sea. Last night, I took my troubles too. The Magan sage, whose keen eyes see 100 answers in the wine, whose cup he laughing showed to me. I questioned him, when was this cup that shows the world's reality handed to you? He said the day heaven's vault of lapis lazuli was raised and marvelous things took place. By intellect's divine's decree and Moses' miracles were made. And Samary's apostasy, he added then, that friend they hanged high on the looming gallows tree. His sin was that he spoke of things which should be pondered secretly. The page of truth his heart enclosed was annotated publicly. But if the Holy Ghost once more should lend his aid to us, we would see others perform what Jesus did. Since in his heart-sick anguish he was unaware that God was called his name out ceaselessly, I asked him next, and beauty's curls that tumble down so sinuously, what is their meaning? Whence do they come? Hafiz, the sage, replied to me, it's your distracted, lovelorn heart that asks these questions constantly. Thank you.
Many thanks. It was hard to read poem after this transcendental music. Anything you read, anything you talk, became relevant, quite irrelevant. It doesn't. It looks like an interruption. I'm sure audiences are in a position to flood with, inundate with many comments. Can Mitul please read some comments from there?
Yes, নীল মালাকার said বড় সুন্দর মন ভালো হয়ে যাচ্ছে এমন কঠিন সময়ে এমন সুন্দর একটা অনুষ্ঠান দেখে সকলের জন্য রইল অনেক শুভেচ্ছা তারপরে সুদর্শনা ঘোষ হাউ ওয়ান্ডারফুল সঞ্চিতা দাস রাজীব কবে দেখা হবে really miss an adda with you
Yeah, Sita Dash was asking about you, and then I would be really happy if she could come and join us today. Many thanks for watching, Sanchita. I would be perhaps next time.
Gopali Chakraborty Ghosh, these concerts are really enriching. And last one, Puranjoy Mitra, Rajeev
Many thanks, Gopali.
is an excellent teacher and an artist as a whole.
Exactly. So Rajivda, you have such a wonderful spectrum. You are a great professional, world-class musician. Post Ravi Shankar generation, you're one of the foremost Sarod player in the global scene. At the same time, you are, I mean, you love experiment. You are exploring instrumental music through many kind of collaborations, many kind of amalgamation. And again, you are also a great teacher. So you are, you are propagating this music to the next generation. Have you got any school in Kolkata where you teach?
No, I do teach privately, but Kaisar bhai, I must say, আমার আজকে চেক করতে হবে আজকে আমার রাত্রিবেলা ঘুম হয় কিনা, কারণ মোটামুটি এত প্রশংসার বন্যা আপনার মুখ থেকে শুনলাম।
No, you deserve, the music you do. The music you do is a true reflection of soul. True reflection of soul.
Kaisar bhai,
unbelievable.
Pretty simple. I am blessed that I was born in a family of music, musician. So I'm just celebrating my life with music, plain and simple. And I have so many friends who believe in that. That's it.
So have you got any name? Have you got any name after you who is inheriting your way of
my nephew is a brilliant musician, Sarod Srivastav or Pratik. Pratik is my sister's son, Rina's son. Pratik stays with me. And he's a brilliant musician. Thank God you haven't heard him. That's why you are still hearing me. He's a good musician. Believe me, he's a good musician. Wonderful musician.
Wow, wonderful. That's truly wonderful. Anyone would like to add anything before we go for Rajeev Da's last performance? I know
কিন্তু
that
last
everyone
performance-এর
wants
খাতা
to.
কোথায়? খাতা কোথায়?
Everyone wants
আমি
to.
তো আজকে তো খাতা আনিনি অতগুলো যে আমি
আচ্ছা ওই যে রাজীব দা যে একই লাবণ্য পূর্ণ প্রাণে যে মিশিগানে যেটা করলা ওইটা কি মানে বাজানো
নেটে
শোনানো
আছে, নেটে আছে,
নেটে আছে
কিন্তু
না?
ওইটা হ্যাঁ ওইটা কি মানে এমনি লাইনগুলো বাজালেই লাইনগুলো বিউটিফুল, কিন্তু ওই ওই যে গ্র্যান্ডারের মধ্যে হ্যাঁ শরৎ কনচেটো বলে হ্যাঁ ইটস দেয়ার একই লাবণ্যে পূর্ণ প্রাণ শরৎ কনচেটো, ইউ উইল গেট ইট ইন ইউটিউব।
সঞ্জয় দা, সুমনা দি, প্লিজ আমার স্পেশাল রিকোয়েস্ট তোমাদের দুজনকে ওই ভিডিওটা পারলে দেখো, ট্যাগর বিয়ন্ড বাউন্ডারি।
অবশ্যই দেখবো।
অবশ্যই দেখবো। থ্যাংক ইউ খালেদ।
Thank you
Very nice of you.
Is Shumana would like to add anything before we go for the last performance?
Nothing really. It's an honor and it's absolute privilege to be part of this online concert and hearing this Sarod maestro, just like you are sitting so near to us. So it feels like that. So it's an honor. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Shumana. Nice meeting all of you. Thank you.
I would like to say to Rajeev da, abhi na jao chhod ke ye dil abhi bhara nahi, abhi to aaye ho, bahar ban ke chhaaye ho. You have filled up my senses with your hypnotic music and wonderful personality. Thank you.
Sanjay da, would you like to
Yeah, I want to add this thing that while Rajeev da is playing, I'm just listening to him, and while he's talking, I'm just mesmerized how he speaks and how he is expressing all of the
He knows the art of expression. Unbelievable.
Exactly.
Through music, through.
I just want to be a student. I want to be a student.
Me too.
Me too.
A lot of things to learn. Rajeev da, it's a privilege, and Kaisar bhai to you as well.
At least I got some student in this lockdown market. Good for me. Thank you.
I was just going to ask Rajeev whether he thought about starting some classes, because we can all
why not? Why not?
Exactly.
Yeah. Totally, really grateful. Thank you so much. It's an honor.
Thank you.
And totally full of admiration. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jasmine.
Yeah, no, I think I completely agree with all of my colleagues. Everything has been said. One thing I would like to say, the simplicity you have shown, Rajeev, as you said, life is simple, and think that way. You shouldn't make life complicated, really. This is I think this message should gone to in our audience. Let's make life simple and easy as we could with music, poetry, and everything. I would like to, I know that we all are just going through some difficult time. I have a very small poem, if you allow me. Yeah?
Please.
জীবন কি বহতা নদী, কুলে কুলে ভাঙে, ভাঙ্গনের আগে জাগে সে স্রোত রাগে। জীবন কি অস্তম্মুখ সূর্যের করুণার্ত গান, যদি তাই হয় কুল ভাঙা নদ জলে বিষণ্ণ গোধূলি লগ্নে আমি নেব শেষ সূর্য স্নান। জীবন কি কৃপানেত্র ক্ষণে ক্ষণে নাচে, আপনি বিকায় হাসি, সময়ের সোপানে অকস্মাৎ তার সাথে দেখা, দেখে বলে মনে রেখো কতটা ভালোবাসি। জীবন কি পাজরে পোর ফাগুনের গান, আর কিছু মনে দীপ্ত স্মৃতি, আহা সদম্ব গুছে যায় তার যেতে যেতে যেতে, ম্রিয়মান কণ্ঠস্বরে বিস্তৃত জীবনের কতিপয় প্রীতি প্রশস্তি। জীবনের এই প্রীতি প্রশস্তি নিয়ে আমরা বেঁচে থাকি, এই হোক আমাদের আজকের অঙ্গীকার। অনেক ধন্যবাদ সবাইকে।
So Rajeev da, many thanks Sarod bhai and Rajeev da. If we we continue
2 minutes
with
of
your mesmerizing art of expressions and connection and engagement.
just Kirvani, a harmonic minor scale. I would like to, just pay tribute to a couple of greatest composers of this world. So, just playing few lines. This gut has been composed after I heard a very, very popular tune. Once I played the tune, you can hear the gut from where it came.
Go.
So that's how we pay tribute. It was Pink Panther. And one of my most loved composer, great composer of all time. So what happened is I was just going somewhere and I just heard a car backing and that music was going on. And all of a sudden it just sounded like a gut to my ears. So that's why I composed it. Once I play it, all of you have heard. Pluralist. Thank you.
Unbelievable.
you.
Ladies
খুব
and
ভালো
gentlemen,
থাকবেন।
exactly. Those who are watching, please stay safe and please share. This is an amazing experience for us. We have started it with with an intention to connect and engage you, because we had to cancel so many live events happening all around the country by Saudha. Today we're supposed to have an event, Rajeev, at Rich Mix, reinterpretation of Frida Kahlo through classical music. So we have selected some great selection of surrealistic art, surrealistic painting of Frida Kahlo, a Mexican painter. And we tried to render an interpretation of this painting through classical music, because most ragas are melancholic, and that is same with Frida Kahlo. And we have so many events, live events we had to cancel for this lockdown. Baul and Bolshoi Music Festival, International Dance Festival. So we like to meet you all in live events. We like to meet.
But Kaisar bhai, I think that this is a bonus to all of us.
Exactly. So that's what
Thank you.
So please, this is a bonus. Even though Rajeev is in Kolkata, our audiences still can enjoy. And this is an amazing thing that after this session finishes, we see that 4,000 people, 6,000 audiences, 10,000 audiences are watching it. So that looks like people finding a bit of solace with this music.
Yeah.
So please listen music. Please listen music, and please follow Saudha Ghazal Thumri and Kheyal Festival, where you are listening this, where you are watching this from. And then we'd like to see you, Rajeev, as part of Saudha's event in near future after this lockdown. Very soon.
Certainly.
I'm planning something.
Would love to be there.
And I'm sure our audiences will be mesmerized again with your beautiful artistry in Sarod. And then I also would like to tell our audiences, please follow this page, www. And also the website, www.saudha.org, and the page Saudha Ghazal Thumri and Kheyal Festival. And this is the page where we promote Indian classical music, Western classical music. Before we finish, I know that we are spellbound, no words. Silence is preferred. Would Nishat say something in the end? Nishat?
Ji, Rajeev bhai. Rajeev da.
English.
না ও পর্ষিয়া বুঝেছে আমি বাংলা মিডিয়াম, সেই জন্য আমার সঙ্গে আমি ইংলিশ ভালো বুঝি না বলেও বাংলা মিডিয়াম বুঝে আমার সঙ্গে বাংলায় কথা বলে।
না, সবাই বাংলা বুঝছে আর আমার ভালো লাগে কথা বলতে বাজে।
অবশ্যই।
যাই হোক, it was very kind of Rajeev da to be here at Bolton at our humble home, and we spent some beautiful time together. Taina Rajeev da?
Wonderful. I thoroughly enjoyed.
Thoroughly enjoyed. And আবার তো দেখা হবে। তুমি বলো, কিছু বলবে তুমি?
কলকাতা দেখা হচ্ছে। আমি ওই যে বলেছি, ওইটা শুনে পাবলো এটা করতে পারে যে তোমাকে না নিয়ে আসলে কলকাতা ঢুকতে দেয়া হবে না। আর আমাদের বাড়ি থেকে 10 মিনিটের দূরে গড়িহাট, হ্যাঁ, যেখানে আর কি গোটা 5,000 শাড়ির দোকান। সুতরাং সুটকেস খালি করে নিয়ে এসো।
কিন্তু রাজীব দা, আমাকে তো সবাই শাড়ি গিফট করে।
ও ফ্যান্টাস্টিক, তাহলে তো কোনো চিন্তাই নেই।
তাহলে না, চিন্তা তোমার।
থ্যাংক ইউ পোর্শিয়া।
আচ্ছা, অনেক ভালো লাগলো। আবার
ওয়ান্ডারফুল
আসবে।
Many thanks,
Avashay,
Nishat.
avashay.
Many thanks to all of our panelists. And many thanks,
Thank you.
Rajivda. So kind of you.
Thank you.
You
Thank
joined
you.
and you
Thank you.
mesmerized
Thank
our
you.
audiences. And I would request our audiences.
Thanks once again. Thank you.
Thank you so
No
much.
talk
Thank
show
you,
no more.
Rajivda. Thank you very much.
Let us,
Thank you.
let
It's a
us,
pleasure.
let
Pleasure
us
coming
be
and meeting so
immersed.
many friends.
Exactly.
Wonderful.
So let us be immersed into the silence that Rajivda created through his beautiful artistry for the rest of the evening. Stay at home and stay safe. Many thanks to all of
Thank
you
you.
again.
Thank you.